Hi there. Good morning. I just wanted to do a follow-up to the video that I posted on Aubrey Marcus and his polyamorous lifestyle. And I want to start off by thanking everybody who watched the video in its entirety. And because you watched the video in its entirety, I felt even more called to go and watch and listen to Aubrey Marcus's podcast on polyamory in its entirety. So thank you so much. And I also want to thank everybody who commented on the video, both the comments of support as well as the comments that challenged me. I heard all of you, and I love that, you know, showing up authentically and being able to, you know, kind of help and guide each other is just expansion for all of us. And so I'm really just honoring that. Now, one thing I will say is some of the, you know, I think there was just one comment that I was like, yeah, that's pretty unnecessary. So please, like, let's just, you know, I'm happy to hear challenges, and I welcome those because I think they're opportunities to expand and grow. However, if they are mean-spirited, I will delete, not for me, but for the person who is being mean, because I don't know, whenever I've been mean and said mean things, I always look back and go, why did I do that? Why did I say that? I could have said that in so many different ways. So I don't know, right or wrong, good or bad, feel free to comment on this approach. I'm a little bit too warm. Feel free to comment on this approach and I will consider it. Anyway, so thank you. I did go back and listen to Aubrey's full podcast, and I have to say, hats off to all three of them. There are just three of them. In exploring this definitely alternative lifestyle. My son's playing video games with his friends, so it's loud. I really have to say, I'm so grateful for them. And I do have a lot of respect, and I always have, for Aubrey Marcus. I have more respect for him now than I did before, even. And not just for him, but for Vailana and for Alana as well. And I know that that's not going to be a shared perspective, and that's okay. I also know that, you know, just all of these things that are different and so out of the norm, they can be super triggering, and I will hold space for that trigger for anybody because I understand. I get triggers. But from my perspective, and this is just my perspective, I was listening and I was thinking, gosh, this is, to me, it is a divine union right now. That might not stay that way, and I'll share why I think this with some of the notes that I made. So let's see. I just want to reiterate that I'm learning, expanding, and I know you're learning and expanding. And so if we can just hold grace for each other, I think that, you know, I think that moving forward, life will become a lot easier for all of us. So that said, I also want to have grace and all those same things that I want to have for myself, for everybody else. So as I listened, I still was triggered by the radical monogamy, because I'm like, you don't need to call it that. It's okay. Because that feels very, you know, like rebranding something that's kind of crappy and trying to sell it anyway. So I don't like that. That still doesn't sit right with me and is still triggering. And yet I did not see any of the women. I didn't see them as victims. I saw them as willing participants. The other thing is, it's not like Aubrey Marcus is the king in that situation. He is also equally allowing, and I say allowing, and with the recognition that we are all free and we're free to do what we want to do. my thing with doing what you want to do is make sure everybody's on board with it, and they are all on board. And so, you know, the age of Alana, I don't think they said how old she is, but I did understand that she is younger than both Aubrey and Vylana. But when I listen to her, she seems wise beyond her years to me, and she's super vulnerable about the things that are hard for her. Now, if any of them start bypassing the difficulties, I think that, you know, challenges will arise just like any of us. If we bypass the challenges that we face when we have difficult emotions or situations or experiences that arise, you know, we just push those off to a later date to deal with. But yeah, I mean, again, I wouldn't judge anybody for choosing any form of lifestyle at all, as long as the lifestyle that you're picking isn't infringing upon another's you know, I guess like in a marriage, for example, if you want to be polyamorous, just be honest about it and make sure that your partner's on the same page. And if your partner's not on the same page and stays anyway, that's on your partner, right? I think we all just need to probably take a little bit more responsibility and hold ourselves accountable. And, you know, it's not easy, and I wouldn't judge anybody for their journey. I'm only just really grateful that people are kind of expanding into these new ways of being, and also being vulnerable enough to open up and share it. So I think I'm going to end there. Thank you so much. I hope you're having a good weekend. Bye.